Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we have an awesome guest for you guys. He's currently teaching the knee chest elective on campus, and he works at the Specific Chiropractic Center in Dublin, California. He's super passionate about functional fitness and integrating that training into being a better adjuster. So let me introduce Dr. Drew Vercellino.
What's going on?
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Let's get right into it, Doc.
Sure.
Um, so first of all, just tell everyone where you went to school.
I actually went here. I'm not sure who was following this this page, but yeah, I went to Life Chiropractic College West here in Hayward.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. And when did you graduate from there?
I graduated June 2015.
2015. So like almost 8 years ago. Wow.
Yeah,
Time flies.
yeah. So I did the 3.5 year track. So I was
Okay.
working. I was continuing to work while I was in school. So that was convenient for me. So I can continue to not only utilize what I learned, but also, like start to build networks and relationships while I was in school.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I can't imagine continuing to work during like such a strenuous program. I honestly kudos to you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Um, so what did you do after you graduated, Doc?
So right afterwards, I had already met quite a few people. I'd taken the Art of the Specific knee chest training program while I was in school
Mhm.
and formed some good relationships with the docs there at the specific chiropractic centers. And so right after I graduated, I ended up going and doing an associateship up in Chico with this specific office up there.
Okay. So you went up to Chico first, and then how long did you associate up there for?
I was there for almost 3 years before I moved back to the Bay Area, and then I did about 2 years of working basically on my own, doing a mobile service, and then the office in Dublin became available as far as needing an associate in there, and so working with Dr. Lacey Book, I ended up taking over that office, and so now I've been there for almost, yeah, a good 2.5 years.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really interesting that you went from associateship to, like you said, like a mobile practice on your own, pretty
hmm
much. What was that transition like, going from associating to really, I mean, working on your own?
It was a huge it was a huge difference, when you start to become your own business owner. There's a lot of things that you're just not quite necessarily aware of, even
Mm,
though you're learning it along the track. There's, taxes and insurance and corporation setup and all that kind of stuff. One, so you can have a better thriving business, but two, so you can protect yourself from, different things that could potentially happen.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool that you went through that transition, and then going from the mobile practice to working in the Dublin office. Um, how was that transition?
That was even another learning curve as well, because now I'm the clinic director. So essentially, I'm responsible for taking care of all of the different aspects of the office. So one of the things, and on top of running your own business, is now that I'm in a brick and mortar type of place, there's county assessor fees and all kinds of stuff, associations and things that need to be taken care of. But what's really beautiful and amazing about it is that now, being in the office, I actually have the X-ray set up so I can do them myself. Versus when I was doing mobile, I would have to send them to an X-ray facility or to a different local upper cervical office. In which case, whatever it was, if it wasn't a specific office, I would have to go in there and teach the person taking the X-rays how to do them so that we can get good quality films.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. I mean, all the time that it takes to just put into all these different aspects and intricacies of whether it's associate or running your own business, or like now as the clinic director, there's just so much to think about that you don't that you really don't when you're moving through school. It's really interesting. It's really interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Um, but Dr. Drew, so I mean, you went through that entire process, continuing to practice knee chest through the specific, and then the mobile practice was on your own. But before all that, what made you really gravitate towards knee, chest, upper cervical, when like there's this plethora of techniques that really in chiropractic you kind of get to choose from, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great question. For me, going into chiropractic school, I was on the path of wanting to do like actually AK, muscle testing and all that stuff, because I was
Wow.
seeing a practitioner who was doing that and functional medicine, all these things. So I started off taking a bunch of those courses. But what really led me into the upper cervical path was I wasn't sleeping well and I was having a lot of digestive issues. And my wife was also having low back pain. So we had been going to the same chiropractor, AK doc, who would adjust you, you know, up and down everywhere,
Yeah,
your feet, everything you could think of. Uh, and at best, for my wife with the low back pain she was experiencing, it would last maybe like a week or so.
okay.
And then for myself, I was still having gut issues and sleeping problems. It didn't really make a difference what I would do, diet, sleeping habits, all that.
Mhm.
And going to seminar every single Friday. This is a common story amongst a bunch of people who fall into upper cervical. Is you go to seminar every Friday and you hear this thing about, if all else fails, go in and adjust the atlas, something
Yeah,
like that, right?
yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to have Dr. Sean Dill as my philosophy one teacher, quarter one. So he kind of laid the groundwork, and he was doing the chest in the office that I'm in now. And I said, you know what? Told my wife and myself, I was like, we've tried all these other things. Why not give this a shot? Like, what I'm understanding logically, science, philosophy, it all kind of makes sense. Let's give it a try.
Hmm.
And for my wife, it was like, boom, it was immediate. Like, literally, it was like one of those miracle one adjustment. Low back pain was gone, didn't come back for like, I don't even know how many months.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like, literally, she was in the resting chair. She was like, oh my God, my back feels amazing. So that was like a shock for me. For me and my process, it was more of like a 2-3 month process where it was basically at like the re-exam. You fill out the form and say how you've been doing, subjective and all that. And I had been holding my adjustment for quite a while, and I just started to realize, man, I'm actually sleeping throughout the night. And I'm not worried about where's the next bathroom that I have to go and run to, right? It was just like, this is something else. And the
Like,
only thing that was different was that I didn't change my diet, I didn't change my exercise. In fact, this was about a year and a half into chiropractic school. So you would imagine the stress level is super high, right? Because
absolutely.
your workload and all that.
Hmm.
Um, so you would imagine with more stress, things would get worse, but in this case, it was actually getting better. So that was just like a game changer for me. And at that point, here I was a year and a half into school, into chiropractic school. I was like, I almost had a moral dilemma. Do I go down and do this thing that I came in here for, or do I do what's more, I guess, philosophically grounded and centered?
Hmm.
And I just knew that decision I couldn't. I knew that if I didn't do this, I would look back and be like, I wish I would have did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really powerful to hear. I mean, the fact that you came in with this perspective, this viewpoint, and then you were able to just take it in, take in what you heard, what you learned, and then you actually got to experience it. And that's pretty
Hmm.
amazing. You got to experience like the positive benefits, and just that's really amazing. That's honestly really cool to hear.
Yeah.
It's also really cool that you have um, that perspective between you and your wife as well, and seeing like this immediate result, and then for yourself going through, and that's really a testament to, there's everything. It just takes time. Like there's no
Yep.
process that does not require time.
That's
um
it.
that's what it is. That's what it is. So that's really awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Joe. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. So usually at the end of these interviews, I would like to ask a question just so that we can really get to know you even better.
Hmm.
So let me ask you, outside of chiropractic, what are you most passionate about?
Outside of chiropractic, I would say that I'm most passionate about. I mean, I'm still working on the words to describe it because to me, I've always questioned sort of what are we wanting to do in
Mm,
life? And the simple way I always answer that is I want to experience at my full potential. And so all the things that I go about doing, chiropractic I think is a vital component of that. But I'm always looking at things and seeing, how can I spend more I guess being outdoors is one of them. How
nice.
can I spend more time being outdoors, enjoying nature, and just being in awe and wonder of the universe and how amazing this experience of life we get is. And yeah, I think that's the thing is just being in awe of what is, being out in nature and seeing just how amazing we can do things.
Mhm.
And then all the things that I do, whether it's health wise or business wise or whatever, is always about how can I get to being and doing more of that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Honestly, when you said that, it really just made me think like, Dr. Drew, like you're passionate about life. Like that's really what it is. Like that is what you're most passionate about, life and living it to the fullest potential. That's amazing. That's
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 it.
that's true chiropractic.
There it is, man.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on this call with us today. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the time that you put in for the students too, in teaching the elective. Um, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Always here to help. If you ever need any questions or have any questions, send them my way.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
All right.
Thanks, Tony.
See
Take
you,
care.
Doc. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, share it with all your friends. We really encourage you to interact with this video. So please, if you have any questions for Dr. Drew or any of the board for the Knee Chest Club, make sure to drop them below, reach out to us individually. We'd be more than happy to answer it. Um, Over here, we have our QR code, which links to our Facebook and our Instagram. So make sure to get plugged in to stay up to date with the club. See you guys.